Well, I've gone and done it now. Have you guys ever bought something that you know you shouldn't have bought, but it was too good of a deal and you couldn't pass it up and you did it anyway, and then it comes and you kind of have buyer's remorse, but kind of not? Well, I did that. Stay tuned. Well, here it is. Here is the thing that I shouldn't have bought, but I did it anyway. And it is all Kimberly Crick's fault. So go check out her channel at Kimberly Crick Art. I'll link it in the description box below. I like to watch her channel because she has amazing reviews of products. They're solid reviews, you guys. You can count on her to tell you exactly like it is. So definitely go subscribe to her channel. But anyway, she reviewed this, I think just last week or so. And when I clicked on her link to look at it, it was like $22 and 10% off. I spent $20 for this and some change, of course. Yeah. And you can see that it says it has 48 color solid pigment, 3 hook line pen. I don't know what that is, but I'll find out. 2 fountain pens and 10 watercolor papers. So it is literally a complete paint box. So let's see what we get inside. That's from Nerdy Crafter. Does anyone watch Nerdy Crafter? I just love watching her stuff. It makes me laugh and laugh and laugh. All right. Hey, while I'm talking about channels I love, go check out Becky Traeger as well. I don't know if I said your last name right, Becky. You're going to have to tell me how to pronounce it. Oh, so a nice little magnetized box. That's pretty fancy for 20 bucks. Ta-da! Wow. Okay, so part of the reason that I went ahead and splurged on this, splurged 20 whole dollars, is because it has this big tin. And you can't even buy these tins empty for, I think they're like $19 minimum for just an empty tin. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's just delightful. Like, I don't even care if the colors are really good or not. I mean, you can go watch Kimberly's review on that. I'm just enjoying the moment here. But what really sold me on this, that made me click on the link, were these metallic colors here. So I don't think the light is very good, but it came with these 6 metallic colors, and when I saw her use them, I really liked them. And I don't believe I have very many or any metallic watercolors. There may be some in my unopened subscription boxes. I'll link that video up in the corner for you, but I haven't gotten to them yet, so who knows if I do. What else? Water tank pencil. Oh, I mixed those 2 languages together. Don't mind me. I'm just having a good time. Come on out. All right, so 2 water brushes. That tip. Oh, wow, big flat brush. Holy moly. And large barrels for holding water. I'm gonna put that in later so I don't ruin the bristles there. Ah, I guess this is what a hook line pen is. Flat brush and 2 little tiny liners. Teeny, teeny, tiny liners. Definitely filled cheap, but the brushes are nice and soft. Well, this brush is nice and soft. We may try swatching with that and see what we think. User manual. Oh, holy cow. They give you a swatch sheet. It is on very slick paper though, so probably not going to use that, because that would be pointless. And their watercolor paper. Oh, little envelope. Okay. It's thin paper, 90 pounds or less. I would actually say this is probably more like 70 pounds. I don't know that it says anywhere, but real thin. It's an off-white color. It's got a nice texture though. I like that. Red, orange, yellow, blue, green, etc. It actually says etc. 6 metallic colors: gold, bronze, sky blue, green, brown, and purple. If you've been on my channel for a minute, then you know that I ran out of Arch's regular sheet paper quite a while ago, and this is the B paper that you just saw in the last video, and I will use that today to swatch out this paper. I do have Arches, but it's in blocks, and I really hate to pull them off for a swatch sheet. So B paper it is. It's still 100% cotton. It should be good, and we will use that to swatch out these 48 colors. As these tins normally do, they have this flap and this flap, and I usually find I only ever use one flap here. And for swatching, this is just in the way. So there's a little rod in here. You can pull it out. And this will come right off. So keep this in case you ever do find that you want it. You can just slip the metal rod right back in there. That way it's all together. And then probably just stick a piece of tape over this right here to keep it there. Set it aside in your drawer or your cupboard. Now you just have the lid, and it's a lot more manageable. Space-wise, size-wise, you know, the whole works. And I missed a few swatches here for you, just the white and that lemon yellow. I assume it's a lemon yellow anyway, but no big deal because there's still plenty of them left for you to enjoy. We are pausing for a moment because I don't like this brush and I don't want to do the rest of the swatch on it because it's just not great. This is the brush that I used to swatch the edge or watercolors on, and I was really happy with it. And that's what we're using instead because I just can't deal with this. It's too thin, and so it's kind of stringy. I don't know. It's not working right. And I'm feeling that it's going to compromise the swatches. So moving to this one. Anyway, I hope you'll forgive me for fast forwarding this so fast because I just didn't think they were all that interesting. And I know some people really enjoy swatching. I'm actually one of those people, but I don't know. This one just didn't strike my fancy for swatching, so I'm just fast forwarding through it, and I will show you how they actually work in 2 paintings. So you'll at least have that to look forward to. And there's those metallics. Wow, those are so cool. I really like those. Here they are, drying still a little bit. See the metallics? Those are pretty. Now it is time to try these out on a real painting. So let's see what we think. And for this, I will be using my Etcher sketchbook. This is 100% cotton paper. And it's the one that I did my little cabin painting in. I'll link that up there for you if you missed it. So I figured why not try it on some really nice sketchbook paper. See what we have. So I'm going to try one that's a little tighter kind of painting and one that's a little bit looser style. So we will see how this goes. Let's get into it. I'm excited. I don't know about you, but to me it kind of seems like showing sketches on YouTube's a little bit pointless because if you're actually sketching light enough to watercolor over the top of, you're not going to be able to see that very well on video. But hey, maybe it proves to you that maybe we can draw sometimes. I don't know. For my tight drawing, so-called, I decided to paint some cucumbers because I saw a reference picture on Pixabay that I liked, and I thought that would be great because it would give me some lights and some darks and some purples and some greens and some yellows, and I just liked the idea. So here are cucumbers, and there was nothing really significantly awesome about the paint, nothing not awesome about the paint with these. I had a little trouble with some of the purple. That was my own fault. I kept dipping into the wrong one, like trying to line up my swatch sheet and just kind of made mistakes because you know, I do that sometimes. And just putting a little metallic on at the very end there just because. And this is how my little cucumbers turned out. I really like that rind on the one that actually shows, and little purple effects are kind of neat. I like that as well. And then I move right on to the more loose style one. So I'm sketching in a few basic things here, and then I do take out my PBO masking fluid and my little rubber brush and mask some things out because I want to save them. In my very last video, which I think I've already linked in the corner for you, I worked with my core paints, and I'm used to how they spread and act on, well, lots of different papers. Probably all papers. Okay, maybe not quite all, but. So I'm starting with the black background here, and I'm doing these little candles. And the black just isn't spreading like I want it to, or expect it to, or really need it to. But I go with it and just keep moving along because it actually is kind of a cool effect there anyway. It's at this point where I kind of want to let this dry down and then take in some of the metallics and really add some of these metallic effects in the background there. It was also at this point where I really wished I had a red metallic, so I do end up mixing the red with the gold metallic to make the red more sparkly later, and that works out pretty darn well. And here I'm spattering, so stay tuned to the end because I have some bloopers on that, which are funny for you and sad for me. Anyway, you can see the metallics are really standing out. They're so cool. That's where I mix the red right there with the gold. And I just keep adding in these little confetti sparkles, and it was fun. The metallics are just a blast. I really enjoy them. It was also at this point where I realized that I cannot just paint a star from scratch because it turns out looking like some kind of weird blob. And if you watch my next video after this one, so subscribe for that so you'll be notified, you'll see I have to paint more stars, and That's interesting. This is the fun part, the last final finishing touches on those little flames. So I am using the bright yellow and just sticking it along the edges, a little bit of orange, and it just finishes it off so nicely. I love it. So this one is the one I had trouble with the masking fluid on because I decided to paint on the background while the masking fluid was still wet. So don't do that because it's just acting weird, and then the shape on the outside got strange. This is what we have, and I don't know. This particular, well, hang on, let's start over here. So these watercolors worked fine for what I was trying to do with the cucumbers. I like them. They turned out nicely. However, I was trying to do that paint spread thing on this where you put the paint in the water and it just kind of spreads like I'm used to with my core. And of course you can't treat these watercolors as if they were a high quality watercolor like core. It just doesn't work the same. So you can see where I had more water left on the paper still, it created that effect, and any watercolors will do that. It's just this one was exaggerated, and then the colors fade into the paper more than I expected. Now this was a heavily watered piece, so little catch there. You can see that the colors look pretty nice and vibrant still on the cucumber piece, but I used hardly any water for the details. But for this one, the whole purpose was to use a lot of water, and so the black really faded out. Everything faded out, but that's kind of what they do with heavy applications of water. You can see the metallics turned out real pretty, so I like those a lot. And you know, those alone plus the tin probably pay for this box. Remember, they came in the big box. I mean, for you guys that was what, a few minutes ago, and it's like 2 weeks for me. Anyway, it came in this box with water brushes and paint brushes and paper and everything. So you have this really heavy duty tin, and you know I took that out. That alone is probably worth your $20, plus these metallic paints are awesome. And then I think it's really fun, you know, those of you a certain age, maybe you have grandkids come over, take these out and let them play with the rest of these paints, and they'll have paints that they're going to be super happy with, and you're not going to cry if they use up a lot of them. So I think that's always a bonus. I didn't dislike painting with them. This is really heavy though. Like any tin like this that you fill with that many paints, it's going to be hefty. So it's not one you'd want to carry, I think, in a backpack, but you could definitely take it on a trip where you have your whole suitcase or whatever, your camp trailer, and still have a great time with it. Lots of color choices. And the metallics, like I said, I keep saying that because I don't really have metallic watercolors. They are really, really fun to work with. So I will have fun with these metallics for sure. And, you know, if I ever want to put 48, or even if I do full pans, 24 or 36 of my absolute favorite watercolors all together, then I can certainly do that. And this does come out for more mixing space. I didn't show you that ever earlier. I don't think you can go wrong. It's not a huge benefit to my collection, and so do I regret buying them? I am torn. I don't think so, but I probably won't pull them out and use them to paint a whole lot with. Okay, well, I've rambled enough. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a blast. It was really fun painting in my Etch-A sketchbook again because who doesn't like the Etch-A sketchbook? You're crazy if you don't, or something like that. We will see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really helps my channel out. If you like watercolor and art subscription boxes, stay, darn you. That's kind of my thing. So, all right, have a great evening. I mean, day? I don't know. It's noon right now, so I don't know why I said evening, but whatever. Bye-bye. But I haven't got him to him yet. We're just gonna start all over. Start all over and over. Okay. Okay. Just sketching with a regular mechanical pencil that we've had forever and years. You know? Years. Okay. I'll start my sketch. Goodbye. 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 Maybe somebody should sketch their stars before painting them. Oops, I just used my clean water for my dirty brush. Go me. Let's overdo it. Right. I actually love that. I only have spatters everywhere, but that's less than usual. Usually it's all over, oh, it might be all over my computer. Yep, it's all over my computer. I'm gonna wipe that off real quick. Pardon me. Doo-doo-doo. Sparkly purple, yes please. Oh look, they're still wet. Yay me.